If you ask most Christians today, who's the god of this world? They'll say the devil. They'll say Satan. But Jesus bound Satan that he might destroy him who had the power of death, that is the devil, in Hebrews chapter 2. Or in Luke, when he binds the strong man and he takes all his panoply, all his armor, he takes all his stuff. Jesus was triumphant over the principalities and powers, it says in Colossians, triumphing over them through his death. Jesus said that when he was lifted up in the Gospel of John, he would draw all men to himself. And when Jesus is lifted up, the devil is thrown down. The devil's not the god of this world anymore. He used to be. He was the god of that age. Satan was thrown down from his position of being able to deceive the nations. If you go through the Old Testament, you see that all these empires had principalities and powers behind them. So when Daniel is praying, the angel shows up 3 weeks late and says, I would have been here earlier, but I got into a fight with the prince of Persia. So these political civic entities had angelic powers behind them. And I think that was true of Rome. I think that was true of Babylon, true of the Persian Empire, true of the Greek Empire, and so on. And that's the way it was throughout the Old Testament. These were princes over these different nations, many of them wicked. The prince over Israel, Michael, the archangel, was not wicked, but overwhelmingly it was a dark, rebellious lot. And when Jesus rose again from the dead, he is Messiah the Prince. He becomes the mediatorial prince over all of the nations of men. And the principalities and powers are deposed. They're thrown down. They don't have their office anymore. That's the position that Satan has. What do I think that means practically? Satan is not vaporized. He's not non-existent. He just doesn't operate. He just doesn't have access to the levers of power that he used to. So attempts that he has made to rebuild an empire on the old lines, like rebuild a pagan empire, like Nazi Germany. The Third Reich is an attempt to build an empire like that. The life of the Third Reich could be counted up in months. There's nothing like Babylon. There's nothing like Persia. There's nothing like Greece. There's nothing like Rome. And that's Nebuchadnezzar's dream. It's got the head of gold and the chest of silver and all the way down. And then you have the Roman Empire at the bottom. And then a rock is cut out without human hands and it strikes that statue on the feet. The whole thing collapses, and then that rock grows to become a mountain to fill the whole earth. So that rock is the kingdom of God. And Nebuchadnezzar's statue is not going to be rebuilt, despite many attempts.